Welcome back to Top 10 Magazine. My name is Tom, and in this video, we delve into a thought-provoking analysis of the top 10 countries with the highest crime rates.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more top 10 videos like this one.
Number 1. Venezuela. Venezuela's alarming crime rates are the result of a complex interplay of political turmoil, economic collapse, and social unrest. The country's prolonged political crisis, marked by authoritarian governance and suppression of dissent, has undermined public trust in state institutions and the rule of law. The severe economic downturn, characterized by hyperinflation, scarcity of essential goods, and widespread poverty, has exacerbated social tensions, desperation, and a general breakdown of societal norms. Consequently, this has led to a surge in various criminal activities, including rampant violent crimes such as homicides, kidnappings, and armed robberies. The weakened law enforcement and justice system have been unable to effectively address the pervasive culture of crime, leaving citizens in a state of fear and insecurity. Number 2. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea grapples with a challenging crime landscape rooted in tribal conflicts, weak governance structures, and inadequate infrastructure. The country's diverse tribal communities frequently engage in disputes over land, resources, and political power, often escalating into violent confrontations and perpetuating a cycle of lawlessness and crime. The government's limited presence in remote regions has hindered the establishment of effective law enforcement and judicial systems, allowing criminal activities such as theft, robbery, and physical assaults to persist. As a result, a pervasive culture of impunity and insecurity persists, posing significant challenges to the safety and well-being of the population. Number 3. South Africa. South Africa's high crime rates reflect the persisting challenges of a post-apartheid society, characterized by socio-economic disparities and historical inequalities. Despite progress in various areas, the country continues to grapple with pervasive violence, including murders, assaults, and sexual crimes, particularly in urban centers. High unemployment rates, poverty, and unequal access to resources have contributed to the prevalence of violent crimes, exacerbating social tensions and posing significant challenges to maintaining public safety. The limited capacity of law enforcement agencies and a sluggish judicial system have further hindered effective intervention, perpetuating a cycle of crime and social unrest. Number 4. Honduras. Honduras has been contending with a multifaceted security crisis, primarily driven by the pervasive influence of drug trafficking, organized crime, and political instability. Positioned strategically along major drug trafficking routes, the country has become a central hub for various criminal activities, contributing to a surge in gang violence, extortion, and corruption. Rampant corruption, weak governance, and limited resources have severely undermined the efficacy of law enforcement efforts, perpetuating a culture of impunity and widespread insecurity. Consequently, the government's struggle to effectively combat crime has posed significant challenges in establishing a secure and stable environment for its citizens, impeding progress towards socio-economic development and stability. Number 5. Afghanistan. Afghanistan's persistently high crime rates are deeply entrenched in the country's tumultuous history of conflict, political instability, and the continued influence of extremist groups. Decades of warfare, foreign intervention, and the weakness of governance structures have created an environment conducive to various criminal activities, including terrorism, drug trafficking, and arms smuggling. The lack of effective law enforcement, coupled with the persistent threat of insurgent groups, has presented formidable obstacles in establishing a secure and stable environment, hampering efforts to foster social cohesion and economic development in the country. This volatile landscape has also exacerbated challenges in providing essential services and ensuring the well-being of the Afghan population.
Don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel for more top 10 videos like this one.
Number 6. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago faces critical challenges in addressing its high crime rates, driven by persistent socio-economic disparities, the influence of drug trafficking, and systemic weaknesses in law enforcement. The country's strategic location within the Caribbean region has rendered it highly vulnerable to the influx of illegal drugs and firearms, fostering the rise of organized crime and gang-related violence. Inadequate law enforcement capabilities, compounded by resource constraints, have hindered efforts to effectively curb violent crimes, including homicides, kidnappings, and armed assaults. As a result, the populace continues to grapple with significant concerns regarding public safety and socio-economic stability, necessitating comprehensive strategies to address the underlying issues and strengthen institutional capacities. Number 7. Brazil. Brazil confronts a challenging and complex crime landscape, characterized by deep-seated socio-economic disparities, widespread political corruption, and the dominance of powerful criminal organizations. Urban centers, in particular, have evolved into epicenters for drug trafficking, gang violence, and organized crime, leading to a sharp increase in various forms of violent crimes. Inadequate social policies and economic challenges have perpetuated an environment of social unrest and lawlessness, presenting significant obstacles for the government in effectively addressing underlying issues and ensuring the safety and security of its citizens. Consequently, concerted efforts are essential to implement comprehensive reforms, strengthen law enforcement capacities, and address systemic inequalities to foster a more secure and stable social environment. Number 8. El Salvador. El Salvador grapples with persistent high crime rates, primarily driven by the dominance of powerful transnational gangs and a history of political instability. The country's weak governance structures, coupled with limited resources, have hindered effective interventions aimed at addressing the root causes of crime. The pervasive influence of gangs, along with social exclusion and the absence of comprehensive social rehabilitation programs, has perpetuated a culture of violence and criminal activities, posing significant obstacles to public safety and socio-economic development. Consequently, there is an urgent need for holistic strategies that encompass targeted social programs, judicial reforms, and enhanced law enforcement capacities to foster a safer and more stable environment for all Salvadorans. Number 9. Guyana. Guyana faces a host of multifaceted challenges related to crime, including prevalent drug trafficking and sporadic incidents of violence. Limited resources and systemic weaknesses in law enforcement capabilities have contributed to ongoing challenges in controlling crime and ensuring public safety. The country's vulnerability to transnational criminal activities, such as drug smuggling and human trafficking, underscores the critical necessity for strengthened governance structures and more robust law enforcement mechanisms. Addressing the root causes of crime and fostering a more secure environment necessitate comprehensive and collaborative strategies that prioritize the well-being and safety of all Guyanese citizens. Number 10. Jamaica. Jamaica contends with a complex crime situation, characterized by a combination of socio-economic disparities, political instability, and the proliferation of organized crime. The country's history of social inequality and political unrest has perpetuated an environment of social tension and economic hardship, contributing to the persistence of organized crime and gang-related activities. The government's limited capacity to address systemic issues, including poverty and limited access to education and employment, has further complicated efforts to establish effective law enforcement and social rehabilitation programs, posing significant obstacles to promoting stability and socio-economic development in the country.
Want to see more top 10 videos like this one? Subscribe now and join our community.